Alright. Let me ask you this. Do you think we have some greater purpose out there for why our life is, or why do we live? Like our existence for creation, our purpose of creation? I think it's always like a very interesting thing. Bro, a bug just pooped on me, dude. Oh my god. Do you think we have some greater purpose or reason for being alive? It's definitely an interesting idea to wonder about such things, but I definitely say the answer is yes. Why do I say yes? Well, I think we need an inherent reason for living because that's the way we live, honestly, right? Inherently in our minds, we don't do anything without a reason for it. Same goes for living, I feel. That's why some people want to commit suicide because they have either one, they've lost their will to live, or two, they have a greater reason for dying than living. So regardless, everything we do, even living, has a reason and purpose behind it. There has to be a why behind everything we do. It's just purely logical, and I think most people can follow that logical process. We eat because we need to. We sleep because we want to. We eat good food because we like the way it tastes. We go to school because we have to, because our parents, etc., right? Everything we do has a reason and purpose behind it. So I think the same goes for living. And I think overall, if we do have a purpose to live, it really just makes us better at living, honestly. If we have a good reason to live, we live in such a way with passion and joy, where if you looked at lives of two people where one didn't have a reason to live and one did, it'd be incredibly different. So that's why I say we need a reason to live and we need a purpose in our lives. But what is that purpose? That's the real question I want to dig deep in. And I want you to look at two different possibilities, but I think this is really the only two ways you can look at it. Let's look at two different worlds, right? Let's say we have a secular world, one based on solely science and the material, and one where there is a God and there is a higher power. Which would you say is more likely to have, or for the people that inhabit that world to have a purpose? I'd probably say the latter, the one where there is a God within it. Because in the secular world, it doesn't make sense for there to be a higher purpose. Because if it was just based on the material, in a purely objective stance, anything we do has no real value. Like, it has nothing to add to the universe. Even if we find our own purposes, like, dedicating our lives to family, work, something that most people would say is admirable, what does it matter? To those that really have confronted this question, if you just try and base it off of things that are absurdly temporary, like family and work, although as noble as they seem, they are extremely temporary and they're gone as soon as you die. It matters nothing to the universe. The universe doesn't care, so why should we have a purpose? Why should we live? Because in all actuality, if you put it up to biology, and that really waters down a lot of the things that we experience in life, right? The joy is just a bunch of chemicals. The love that we hold for a parent or a lover is just chemicals, The work that we do is just dust coming together. That means so many things in life, and if we were to live in such a way and go forward with such, I feel like that truly boils down life into something that I wouldn't want to live in anyways. So I think living with a secular perspective on purpose is truly strange. And the other world I propose is the one with God. And of course, I'm going to be biased because I come from a religious background, but I truly think this is the take that we should have. Because then it doesn't matter if the impact that we have is truly impactful. Because it's towards a person, a being, a relationship. Because even in a relationship, it's not purely based on the merit, what your actions actually do. It's based on the intentions and the communication between that relationship. That's why I think it can actually work with a God, a personal God specifically, which is Essentially, only the Christian God, honestly. And that's why I say we need to ask more questions, right? You might not agree with my take on how we should live according to the purpose of a Christian God, right? Then you have to change your whole entire belief system. But truly, I encourage you to ask questions about your existence. Essentially asking yourself, where did I come from? Why do I exist? And how do I exist? And how should I continue doing so? Like, what is my ultimate purpose? The 5 big questions of existence, I don't have them off the top of my head, but it's generally around those guidelines. You can just Google it real quick. It's basically one of the first searches. You have to constantly ask yourself those questions, because once you get to the bottom of those answers and get the answers that you actually are satisfied with and you can actually abide by, that's when I think you can truly enrich your life and live in such a way that is logical, that isn't just completely irrational and ignoring everything else in this world, right? A lot of the secular thinkers will say that there is no purpose. But if you deny purpose, you're going against pure rationality, right? If you don't have a reason to do something, why would you do it? So, like, that doesn't make sense. And yet, logic and reason is one of the things that they pride themselves on. And yet, they're denying the fact that we need a why to do something, right? That's just self-justification. It's illogical. Like, I'm struggling to find words here, but that's the only way I can describe it. So it is strange how some people just really deny God to such an extent. It's not that they don't think there is a God, you just don't want there to be one. Or else they couldn't do whatever they want, right? That one NYU professor. That quote is one that I will bring up time after time again. But I hope these ideas were at the very least kind of interesting and help provoke some thought. But just get out there and think a little bit. Ask those 5 big questions of existence to yourself and come to that answer for yourself. I don't want to be here telling you and feeding you all these answers, but I'm just merely giving you a single take for what you could think and what you could move forward with. But I hope it was at the very least interesting. That's about it from me here in this day. But yeah, that's about it. Just have a good day. See ya.